Hello and welcome to Ready Bet Action. My name is Eric Doran. We are missing two of our co-hosts today. Jen and Stefan are in the Big Apple, loving New York, getting to enjoy this time of year out there. I'm a little jealous, if I'm being honest, but I get to come to you solo tonight. It is Monday, June 3rd. Tonight we're going to talk about the NBA Finals. Those kick off this coming Thursday. So we have a nice long break, nice long amount of time for both teams to get healed up and have a really good series. I think this is going to be one of the better finals we've had in a little while. So pretty excited to talk about the NBA Finals. Before I jump in, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit all the likes, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Anything that's a good button, hit that button for us. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Today we're talking about the finals. It's been a long road here. It feels like the NBA playoffs to me always take forever. The NHL playoffs are kind of the same way. Like here we are. By the time we're done, it'll be the middle of June. Then we're on our own for sports season. We might talk some soccer, but got to wait for that NFL kickoff. So let's talk about these two teams real quick. We have the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think a lot of people expected the Mavericks to be here. I really think it was kind of the Nuggets conference to lose. And then when Minnesota beat the Nuggets, they had clearly dumped the Gatorade already. Didn't really show up for that series. So I think the Mavericks are kind of rolling in here as honestly a little bit of an underdog. I mean, an underrated underdog. Of course, they're the underdog. That's how these things work. So I do think they're pretty underrated. And honestly, I think they're going to put up a really great fight against the Celtics team. We're going to talk about who I think is going to win and some picks here in a second, but the Mavericks are a high defensive efficiency team, which is shocking to those of us last year when Kyrie Irving was actually acquired by the Mavericks. To say that this would be a defensive team is pretty bonkers. So unfortunately for the Mavericks, they are playing the heavy favorite in the Celtics. This is just a complete team. This team has been built for this moment. The reason why this is going to be a good series is because the Celtics haven't always lived up to that moment. They're getting to the finals here. They have played three teams with all of their superstars out, not the Celtics superstars. Every team that they played, their team's superstars were completely out. So really excited to see how the Celtics respond, how they come into this series, even though they haven't had a ton of adversity in this, where the Mavs have actually had to play through some of that. You see Kyrie Irving really come on strong for the Mavericks. He's kind of come out of no man's land. The man might not know that the earth is a globe, but he can dribble a basketball. So really amazing basketball player, one of the best we've ever seen do it. He's going to have something to say in this series. Luka's going to have something to say. I mentioned this when we started. Give me 6 days rest and Luka. Like it's going to be a banging start to this series. It really is. I don't think the Celtics are used to this level of competition. It's been probably a month and a half, about 8 weeks since they've played this level. So I think they're going to struggle out of the gate. Let's dive into what our actual picks are, though. So I'm going to have on this particular episode, we're going to talk about actual show picks and like the things we're putting on our sheet and what we're putting money on. I'm also just going to throw out a few things that you might find kind of intriguing, depending if you like the Mavericks or the Celtics more, because maybe you love one of those teams and you want to put some money on maybe something a little different than them just like, winning the series. So yeah, like I said, we want to give you some options and in the end give you our official show picks as well. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. Let's start with some things that are pretty interesting, I think, when we look at this. So let's just talk about this MVP conversation. You'll hear this all over ESPN and everything. It's pretty obvious there's two people who could win this MVP, barring major injuries. That's Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. So I'm not picking an MVP person here because of the injury piece, and you just never know. But I did want to show you can get Luka at plus 205. That's pretty crazy good value. If you think the Mavs are going to win this series, like the MVP doesn't come off the losing team. So if you think the Mavs are going to win this series, this is probably, you might as well add this to your bets. as well. So you might as well take Luka. The other player is Jason Tatum. This really is the only other option for MVP. At minus 115 is still pretty good value. So if you're just so sure that the Celtics are going to win this series, you might as well throw some cash on Jason Tatum because there's really not. And Jason Tatum's really, I really thought he'd be a heavier favorite than this. So I think this is pretty decent here. Depending on which team you like more, go ahead and throw some money on your MVP as well. This might give away what my pick is in the end. This is not an official show pick. If you like the Mavericks, I think the Mavericks in 6 is their best option. The team. Give me a team in a closeout game at home, and that would be Mavericks in 6. If you like that, plus 550. I just want to throw that out there as some really great value. If you love the Mavericks in this series to beat the Celtics, this is probably how it's going to happen. They're not going to win this. Like, they're not going to sweep this series. So give me to win at home. So again, those are just a few things that are just nice things to have if you like one team or the other. Those are not our official picks. We're going to dive into those right now. We're going to start with Kyrie Irving official picks, and then we'll run all these down here at the end for you. Kyrie Irving to average 25 plus a game at plus 130. He averaged 27 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kyrie's good for like 140-point game. And then he's got a revenge factor playing against his old teams, the Celtics. So give me Kyrie to just kind of have at least one explosive game, and then he really just needs to float around, 20 to 25 for the rest of the series to make those numbers work. So Kyrie to average 25 plus points per game. You'll have to check and see if there's any like minimums on this out there. He has to play, at least 2 games or something along those lines. So check that out in the apps. And you'll want to make sure to grab Kyrie there. So I'm definitely taking that. I'll be putting some good money on Kyrie to average over that. I'm going to take the Mavericks in game 1. Just give me the Mavs to win straight up. Game 1 at plus 190. This does not mean I think the Mavericks are going to win the series. It means that the Celtics haven't had competition in 2 months. Luka is healthy. Kyrie has the revenge factor. Mavericks come and punch the Celtics in the mouth. Game 1. Love it at plus 190. Celtics are favored, I think, by 6.5 right now. I don't really care. I think this is a really great value and something that I will be putting some money on. Next, and you're going to think I'm a big Mavericks fan as we keep going through this. I swear that this is not where this is not where this show is going. Let's take the Dallas Mavericks plus 1.5 on the series, so they need to lose by less than 2 games. So again, alluding to my final pick, I like the Mavs at minus 120. Get plus 1.5. So just to keep the series close. They could lose this 4-3 kind of a thing. And you can see the Mavs cash this for us. We're definitely going to roll with the Mavs at plus 1.5. We're building up to the final pick that I think you can already predict is going to happen. If you've listened this far, you know what my final pick is, but this is the second to last pick. Series total over 5.5 games at minus 150. I think this is free money. I really do. I know the juice isn't great. Like, a lot of you might not bet things that are minus 150. Our policy on the show is if you love it and it's under 200, under minus 200, you should just go get that money. I love this one. We'll be putting multiple units on it myself. For the show, we'll be throwing one on it. So, yes, series total over 5.5 games. I bet this number keeps climbing the closer we get to Thursday. Last but not least, give me my final prediction is an exact game prediction. The Celtics win in 7. So the Celtics win the series 4-3, I think is how you're going to see this in the book. I just think this is the outcome of the series. I think the Mavs come and take one in Boston. I think they go back and forth a few games, and ultimately Celtics get home court. Celtics at that point have adjusted to the grittiness, the defensiveness of the Mavs. It's going to take them a while. Give me the Celtics in 7 all the way at plus 350. I think the Celtics pull this off as the more complete team. Although this is a series that I'm not surprised if the Dallas Mavericks win. So I promise I'm not a Mavericks hater. I'm not even a Celtics hater. I'm excited for a good series. My team has been knocked out. This is a series that I don't think I've been this excited for an overall series just to watch it play out in a long time. So give me the Celtics in 7 at plus 350. Those are our official picks for the NBA Finals. We are super excited to get those kicked off on Thursday. It's going to take us sports through the rest of June. So who's not excited about this? All right, last bit of the show. This is where we run down our official picks for the NBA Finals. For anyone who fast forwarded straight to the end, give me Kyrie Irving to average 25 plus points per game. Give me the Dallas Mavericks to win game 1 straight up on the money line. Give me the Dallas Mavericks plus 1.5 in the series. So to keep this close, this series is going to go over 5.5 games. So go take that at minus 150. Last but not least, even though it looks like I'm loving on the Mavericks, I'm going to take the Celtics in 7. Makes too much sense. The team's too good. I think it's their time to finally break through. Might be the last chance this team has. Give me the Celtics in 7 right there at plus 350. That's all I got. Thanks, everyone, and we will talk to you later.